It's easy work boxing. About to hit you everywhere but under your feet with this one. This post-fight talk for Adonis Stevenson versus Badou Jack. If you watch the videos and you want the 100% truth, I'm gonna give it to you raw and uncut. So like, subscribe to the videos, please. All right. I said in my video, for one thing, when you go and you fight the champion, you have to get a clear win. You have to put the champion on his ass, especially in his hometown. Now, I'm going to go into the fight from what I saw. Now, the first 3 rounds, clearly, Stevenson. 4th round, Badou Jack. 5th and 6th, Stevenson. The rest of the rounds, all the way up until the 10th, was for Adonis Stevenson. Adonis Stevenson was doing better body work. Badou Jax had a chance to jump on Adonis Stevenson when he seen he was tired, because Adonis Stevenson was tired. He didn't bring no effort. He brought no effort towards the man. Adonis Stevenson brought damn near the whole fight except for after the 6th until the 10th round. Adonis hurt him in the body, and that changed the whole fight in the later rounds. So if you are a Badou Jack fan and you feeling that Badou was robbed, you need to watch that fight again, and you need to know what really goes on in boxing. Now, in the first 3 rounds, it wasn't that much action, but Adonis Stevenson brought the fight to Badou Jack, and he was throwing more punches. So you have to get on rounds to him. Now, in the 4th, that's when Badou Jack came out and he started throwing, and he started doing a little more, so you had to give it to him. Now, I could have said that the 9th round was for Adonis Stevenson, but that was really a struggle round right there. Both of them was going at it, and Adonis Stevenson came in late, like a minute late in the later of the round, and he fought. But I still gave that round to Badou Jack. You see what I'm saying? So first you have to know about scoring fights. You know what I'm saying? The person who brings the fight to the other opponent is the person who gets that round, or the person who lands the most punches. Badou Jack didn't do that. And for him to be fighting a 40-year-old man that was off damn near 2 years, the shit, I'm just going to say, it was fucking pathetic. I'm just going to be real with you. When he seen he was tired, he's supposed to jump on Adonis Stevenson's ass right then and there. He didn't bring no fight effort towards the man. He'll land a right hook or a straight, this, that, and shake him up a little bit. Well, I wouldn't say shake him up, but you know what I'm saying, back up Adonis Stevenson a little bit. But he didn't do anything besides that. He'll sit there and let Adonis Stevenson hold him. You fighting for a fucking belt. This ain't just no regular boxing match. If you want that belt, you have to go out there and take the belt. I mean, so come on, let's be serious, man. This is a 40-year-old man who fought in 2 years, and you got him tired in the ring, and you coming out there letting him hold you. Letting him hold you. And, I seen a little comment, I watched the post-fight talk with Floyd Mayweather, which I don't like how he disrespected that trainer, because the trainer was only being truthful in what he saw. And that was that the Badou Jack didn't step on the gas to win that fight. If he would have did that and fought his heart out, he probably would have beat Adonis Stevenson. But like I said, you got to go in there and you have to annihilate the champion. You have to clearly beat the champion. If you don't knock him out on his ass, you have to clearly get multiple rounds. And he didn't do that. So this was not a draw. And in my opinion, it was 7 rounds to 5 for Adonis Stevenson. And if you can't see that, then I'm sorry. But I know how to watch boxing. I know how to look at the rounds and see who won. And in my opinion, it was not a draw. Adonis Stevenson won. And if you're a fan of Badou Jack, how could you say he won? You just can't come in there and do no lazy ass fighting and think you finna take a belt. At the end of the fight, this man went and jumped up on the ropes, throwing his hand up and up. For what? For what? Like I tell you, I'm gonna get it to you raw and uncut. Badou Jack did not win that fight. He did not win that fight. It wasn't even a draw. He lost that fight. Like I said, Adonis Stevenson, first 3 rounds. Badou Jack, the 4th. 5 and 6, Adonis Stevenson. From the 6th on up to the 9th, I gave that to Badou Jack, which I didn't want to give him the ninth round because they both were going at it. And at the end of the round, Stevenson came back at the end. But I gave it to Badou Jack for his effort in the first beginning of the round. The 10th, 11th, and 12th, Badou Jack didn't do shit. He didn't do a damn thing. And if you, I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm going to get to you real. I ain't a fan of neither one of these dudes, so I'm not being biased. I'm going by what I saw, and I'm going to get to you raw and uncut. He did not win this fight. He did not win this fight. For him to be facing a 40-year-old man who ain't fought in almost 2 years, and you go out there and you do some shit like that, you come out the first 3 rounds like you didn't want to be there, and you send him here running to the ropes like you goddamn Godzilla beating on your chest and shit, man. Cut that out. Cut that shit out. I mean, come on, y'all. Come on. I know a lot of y'all TMT fans, I had to bring that up every time because y'all see Floyd on somebody's side. You're going to sit here and you're going to say this and that. Now, one thing I will say is Adonis Stevenson was holding a lot, which Floyd said something about that. But Floyd, really, with your holding ass, when they literally got you on tape in one fight, holding the motherfucker over 100, then close to 100 times in the fight, but you sitting there complaining about motherfucking holding? Come on now. And with the low body shots, I kind of agree he was hitting them on the belt line, but then also Adonis Stevens' trunks was very high. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't like the referee on how he would, warn Badou Jack about holding when he wasn't really holding that much into the later rounds. When it got to like the 9th and 10th and, 11th, that's when Badou Jack wanted to hold. But Adonis Stevenson was doing a lot of holding because he was fatigued. But the referee really didn't say nothing on that point. That was biased. You know what I'm saying? The referee, but you in the champion's hometown, you can expect something to go by. That's why you have to go in and clearly win. You have to clearly knock them out. You have to literally put them on their ass to get them points right for you to win. So don't be out here complaining and talking about another robbery on Badou Jack. This was not no goddamn robbery. He lost that fight 7 rounds to 5 or 6 rounds to 4 to me. And I've been watching it for a long time. I know how rounds look, and I know who's supposed to win and who not. Now, if he would have came out there, he'd have been on his ass and whooping on Adonis Stevenson's ass. Hey, all good and well. But just because you put a so-called onslaught on for 4 or 5 rounds, don't mean you won the fight. Boxing don't work like that. It don't. You have to know what you watch. You have to be a fan of the sport for years to understand and not be biased. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, I'm not a fan of Adonis Stevenson or Badou Jack. I'm just going by what I saw, and I'm not finna sugarcoat nothing to make nobody happy. I'm gonna give it to you like it's supposed to be given to you. Now, they keep saying a rematch. To me, there's no need for a rematch because if you couldn't go out there and do it this time, imagine if they do this fight 6 months from now and Adonis Stevenson ain't on no layoff. What you think gonna happen? What you think gonna happen? And for Badou Jack to be the Ripper, I guess that means for him being a body puncher, Adonis Stevenson was killing him to the body. Whichever way you want to look at this fight, he lost. There ain't no way around it. He lost. Floyd, he gonna sit and he gonna say, this is 3rd time like being robbed. We're gonna give you the rematch for you to get a bigger payday, which is all good and well. Salute to Badou Jack, go get your money, huh? But you know what I'm saying? You didn't win this fight. And for you to be sitting there looking sad, you ought to be mad at yourself because you had the opportunity to win this fight. When it got past the 6th round, the last round that Adonis won to me up until the 10th, 11th, and 12th, you seen him fatigued. Everybody knew he was. I'm sure your coach told you he was fatigued. But what you do? You go out there, you land in 2, 3 shots, come forward on him, let him hold you, let him throw some shots back on you. Then you come back, hit him one time. I mean, come on, y'all. Let's just be real, man. Let's just be real. You can't come out there doing that, especially in no fighter's hometown. It's not gonna work like that, man. You have to literally go out there and defeat them. You have to literally do that. If you're not willing to do that, then don't complain about you getting a draw. And to me, like I said, it was not a draw. 7 rounds to 5 or 6 rounds to 4 for Adonis Stevenson. You have to go out there and literally beat the champ. You know, I know I'm going to get some people who going to get on here and they're going to come in and say I'm crazy and I don't know shit about boxing. No, you don't know shit about boxing, because I'm telling you, the man did not win the fight. It was not a draw at all. The only reason it probably was a draw is because Floyd probably put something in somebody's pocket. Because if I was a judge, I'd have clearly scored it for Adonis Stevenson. One for being a champ and one for the work ethic that he put into the fight. You can't go out there and be lazy in no title fight. You know, if this is something you've been wanting your whole life, you have to go out there and fight like it. This is Easy Work Boxing. Thank you for your time. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.